because I've been doing 1v1 so much lately, I was not expecting what looks like a 5v5. Team 1 being the top 5 in the list there, and Team 2 being the bottom 5. And we are playing on Ypres 5v5 non-shared, because this is non-shared. Also, I'm Marshall. Welcome to the video. I need a proper opener, don't I, really? But yes. So, Ypres, as with many of the maps like this, will have pots of metal, quite dense, and spread out in clusters. So it's all about taking the clusters and holding them, and we've got them in now. So Team 1 are on this side of the map here. Let's top that over there. And we've got, who's this? Over here in, what we call this? Turquoise. We've got Cooksey. Coming round clockwise, we've got Ofo. Oh, and we've swapped. The Fluffy Bunny in hot pink on the south. Gunmetal Grey, always prime between the valleys, between the mountains rather, in the valley. And Blood Red, we've got Reynold up the top. Meanwhile, on to the other side now. Let's hop over to here. Team 2, we've got Dreadnought in white, going air into bots into heavy vehicles. Or rather, bots into air into heavy vehicles. Moving round, we've got Francescop, or France Scop, depending on what you want. So we've got a magenta and a pink on the south pole over here, and round we've got the tan colour, Legion 9. Going back up again, Marco Fiera, the other side, the other valley. And up here we've got Il Barone, or Il Bar 1 in yellow. A big old PT game for Team 2. Team 1, though, looks like a mix of all sorts. And as I said earlier, it's all about, can you claim and hold these expansion sites dotted around the map? You're going to have different players with different advantages in their spawn setups. So, for example, Always Prime and Marco Fiera here will have their sort of tension points between them quite a way away from their bases, which allows these guys to be more of a sort of a tall player, a tech player, even an air player if they want to be. And they really need to come out and support their neighbours, both north and south, because look at the big old area. Massive area, which is big and open. And we've already got some aggression from Reynold coming in very fast with a few docks here. Coming in hot on Il Bar 1 in yellow. Again, you see what I mean. Holding these expansions is important and crucial. Il Bar 1 is failing to do that so far, going into vehicles and bots. Potentially being more defensive with vehicles down there. Marco Fiera, though, gradually getting an army together. Over onto the other side, we've got Faberspam from Cooksey. Air for days, air for days. Ill-advised. He's already repairing his spawn mechs with his comm. Not what you want to be doing. And Ofo down here, we've also got Faberspam, but we've also got Boombot spam. That's potentially dangerous. But what he's also not going to be doing is assisting his teammate down here, Fluffy Bunny. Is going to have a bit of a problem when he comes to fighting both Legion 9 and Francesco. Because essentially, he's got a neighbour here doing not a lot, and a neighbour here who, in theory, should be going tall, but is going to have to adapt to the fact that not everyone is pulling their weight. Oh, hello. Got some Inferno drops here from Dreadnought, claiming space. Got Reynold defending against yellow there. You can see the charred remains of a few bits and pieces coming in. What I'm going to do is instead have the cameras on the poles here so you can really see exactly what's going on. I think that's a better view, isn't it? More pings there from Gunmetal Grey saying, look, blue's coming up. I'm going to help you. At the same time here, there's a bit of an open flank here for Always Prime to sort of sweep around on the inside lane and come in, but it's nice and easy to defend there, so you won't be doing too much infrastructure damage either which way. Of course, he has got the other option of doing a sort of pincer movement here, coming in on the north, on the expansions there, and on the south as well, forcing Marco Fiera to divide his forces in order to defend. But elsewhere on the map, we've got Fluffy Bunny here, pushing in with quite a sizable force. Quite a sizable force here of Docks, Sparks, and Grenadiers. A nice mixed force, what you should be aiming for, really. And denying the T2 factory, not going straight into the base where all of these weak units will probably meet their doom, but circling around the outside, which is the best way of approach it. Circling around the outside, doing as much damage as you can to the infrastructure, making sure that you take off all of the fabricators that are building the big important buildings like this. And let's have a look. Fluffy Bunny there saw a big old power field, so that's going to be a big old target going on into the late stages of game, and a heavy investment on quite a small area of point defense here from Legion. Look at that. That's a really nicely defended area. Shame there's a way around the side. Oh, so we've got Marco Fiera now coming back saying, oi, I've had enough of this. I'm always prime, going to run into the mines there. Doesn't want to do that. Doesn't have detection for them either. Like he is aware of it. Now look at this. Amazing play from Fluffy Bunny. Moving out, grabbing the mechs, allowing the T2. Commander sat there with power. Could probably pop into some factories as well, but needs a few more units there. Oh, hold on. I want army counts, not army values. There we go. Like Fluffy Bunny's going to have to be a little bit more defensive here. We've got a few vehicles in the attacking army from Francesco. Few too many there, really, if I'm honest. And T2 vehicles to follow up from the other side. Shame that Ofo doesn't think about pushing in here. That would really be handy. And what is this? I mean, I haven't looked on the North Pole in a while, but Dreadnought here. Inferno army in the sky. 22 of them, no less. 22 Infernos in the sky, following up with a Colonel later on. Dreadnought coming down to assist his buddy on the South Pole here. Look at this. They're not going to be dropping there, surely. They want to go hop on top right in the middle of the base, because there's no AA here whatsoever. He just needs to go in and scout the fact that there is 0 AA in this base. Absolutely nada. Who's he going for? Is he going to go for Always Prime, or is he going to go for Fluffy Bunny? Oh, dropping a couple. Look at this micro here, popping them around all over the place. Not great news. Always Prime in a little bit of a sticky situation here. He needs a few units to pull back. Reynold is a bit busy on the North Pole there. And here we go with Dreadnought with the power line, getting a little closer to the commander there. But down all the Infernos go now. And the Pelicans wander off. Job done. Commander there. Left to face off against all of those Infernos. Not exactly your ideal bank holiday weekend. And again, it's quite cold here in the UK at the moment. And Inferno is kind of welcome, to be honest with you. And Mr. Faberspam is meeting his demise. Surviving unnecessary... What's the word? I can't think of the word. Unprecedentedly long. Unprecedented longevity in this game there from Kooksy. Maybe they'll see this replay and get a good idea of actually how to play PA. Pointer, spamming Fabs isn't the way to do it. So we're getting T2 up from most parties now. We're getting a nuke from Legion 9. That's going to take a while. Here's floating mechs, so we could put some more build power onto that, to be honest with you. Dreadnought, though, coming out with a second Colonel, of course inspired by Marshal Grizzly, who is going Colonels in Ranked. If you fancy your chances at fighting off a Colonel Rush in Ranked against the French, hop in the queue. Grizzly will meet you there and go, "Oh, a challenger! Ah, mais oui!" And depending on your skill level, you will either meet a swift demise, or a slightly delayed demise, or you will stick it to him. And I'm not going to judge. But all that being said, are there any French people in this match? I do not know. We've got Scop here making an attack. That is not Scop. This is Scop making an attack. What I said was correct, I was just looking in the wrong place, eh? But here we go, with a few levelers now and a sheller to bring up the rear. Supporting his army as it pushes in, the sheller thinking out the army from afar. A shame it needs to take out the T2 units there to really be efficacious. But all the same, Legion 9 now pushing in as the Fluffy Bunny is required to retreat back to deal with Francesco, but Francesco is wandering off into a boombot horde of Offo, who finally decides to push out. Dreadnought, though, comes in on Offo with more. Unbelievable. Always Prime now, making a dual push with Fluffy Bunny. They realise that something has to be done here. Someone has to die, otherwise something bad is going to happen as Dreadnought pushes in against Kooksy with 2 colonels. Kooksy is gone, Dreadnought there with a large army, and Offo now as well, licked with flame into oblivion. His army there not quite meeting Offo, who retreated well. Not engaging because, of course, the army does take a while to pop after the commander goes. Always Prime there. Pushing in against Legion. So Team 1 have lost 2 players. Team 2 potentially about to lose one, but he's certainly lost a base here. And that's pretty big because now they can sweep up into the derriere of Dreadnought. A soft underbelly, if you will. Always Prime. Look at this. Good moves there. Teleporter on the front line, reducing the travel time for these armies, but he's got to get in here and deal with Marco Fiera. This is quite an all-over-the-place game here. Always Prime, Reynold, and Fluffy Bunny, MVPs for Team 1, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Ping there from Francesco saying, "Hey, watch out!" Zoinks! The Fluffy Bunny is in the underbelly! Homo! Dreadnought's like, "I'm on it!" Infernos just eat it from within. There are a few too many slammers there, but it has thinned the army nicely. Inferno's not costing too much, but Dreadnought now having to respond with a Colonel. Colonel will mop that up quite nicely, but we have found a power line here, and that's not going to be good news. Especially if Dreadnought is using all his power. Fortunately, he's floating at the moment, so it's not as devastating as if he wasn't floating on power. Reynold, though, coming in on the front lines now, seeing the distraction at the back, taking the opportunity, but he's got too many colonels on the front line to deal with it. It's not going to happen this time. Loads of pings from Always Prime, who's just been infernoed. Dreadnought here, commanding the skies. Always Prime, with no recourse for this. His army's going to have to come back through this teleporter to meet this lot. The commander might just be able to deal with this because all of the infernos are just so spread out, but Always Prime here also has a soft underbelly. Dreadnought, though, coming back now with the Pelicans, ready to pick up the next payload. Look at this. Reynold, though, has found the commander. Levelers. Levelers on Dreadnought's commander. Is it enough? A few more shots and it's gone! Dreadnought is gone before he got distracted. This colonel got a little bit aggressive, perhaps. Needed to stem the flow, but that could be the break that they need. Ilbar 1 has disappeared. When did that happen? That would have been Reynolds' work. We can go back and see that later on. But now it looks like a 3v2 all of a sudden. Reynolds doing some good work over there. Orbital launcher for Legion 9, who has very little option. Did manage to keep hold of a couple of T2 engineers, so that's big for him. Got a combined push here into Fluffy Bunny. And it will be the end of Fluffy Bunny's base. Will it take out the commander? I don't know. Will this army be enough to push all the way into Always Prime? I don't know. He's going to need another army to deal with Reynolds that is inevitably encroaching from the north here. Not really what you want to see on your doorstep, is it, this? Ooh, that's a bit dizzying. Ooh. There we go, look at that. Always Prime's army having to respond to this. Fluffy Bunny runs all the way. Base no longer in existence. Reynolds now, though, coming into the rear of Francesco's base. Legion 9 has nothing to help. Francesco will kill off these levelers and then reroute hard to the north. Legion 9 is saying, it's alright, I've got a Zeus on the go, mate. Looks like the assault has been dealt with. Could this be the GG? I think it is. Without that army count there, Francesco has little to answer this army of Reynolds, which is looking very, very strong indeed. 130 value to 100 from Francesco. And Legion 9 will die in the middle of Francesco's army. Look at this. Look at Francesco's army. Gone. 40 units of Francesco's just evaporated in Legion's fumes. And that will be the GG. I'm almost certain. Although, that being said, all of Reynolds' army that was attacking there also got hoovered up. Francesco has a little bit of extra left to give. Fluffy Bunny survives. Factory's still producing. Always Prime moving into the deceased's house. Seeing an opportunity to get some rent money. You're selling. I'm buying, monsieur. Not going to be a huge amount left, really, that these guys can do now. Francesco desperately trying to make something happen with this army, but he's gone in the long run, long route there. Ill-advised, but after all, an all or nothing. So as always, Prime here opens his teleporter, and as his army starts multiplying on Francesco's doorstep, you can see the base that is about to be attacked with extreme prejudice. Oh, the irony of robots fighting robots, eh? Still surviving is Francesco. Running out a little bit. As the last survivor. 1 versus 3. How long can Francesco hold out? Well, the army is now down to 49 value, which is, well, let's put it this way, not looking good. About a tenth of the value of the others, give or take. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this game. This has been quite an interesting one to watch, and it's been a while since I've done a non-1v1 cast, really, hasn't it? A good long while. But I hope it's been enjoyable. I've enjoyed it. Been a bit chaotic, but with all of Dreadnought's antics and the pushes on multiple sides of the planet at the same time. Oops. Commander there. With little option to capitulate. Yes, I've been Marshall, folks. I'm not going to repeat everything I've said. Please drop a like if you enjoyed. It really helps me out, of course. And if you have any friends who you reckon might be interested, might enjoy my content, give it a share for them as well. And of course, I'm streaming currently the Halo Master Chief Collection. I have never played Halo before, over on my Twitch at the moment. So head over there and give me a follow. And join in the chat, in the fun, in the hilarity and the stupidity that are my reactions and impressions of the cuff. Anyway, have a good day, folks.